Hello, my dear students. Very good morning. Myself, Dr. Sanjay Chavda, Professor, Faculty of Law and Governance, Jyoti Vidyapeeth, Women's University. This session is related to functional accounting for BCom LLB 6th semester. This is from Unit 2, last part of Unit 2, that is Departmental Accounting, session number 6. Session name is Methods of Departmental Accounting and Advantage of Departmental Accounting. So students, in our last session we discussed about what is departmental accounting and objectives of departmental accounting, and now in this session we will discuss the methods of keeping accounts under departmental accounting, and we will discuss advantages of departmental accounting. So under departmental accounting there are two methods which can be used in departmental accounting. First method is where a separate set of books is maintained for every department. Means each and every department will be treated as one unit, individual units, and different accounts. Their separate accounts will be prepared. For A department separate account, B department separate account, C department separate accounts. That is separate accounts. And second method is where all the department accounts maintains in columnar wise collectively. Means in the same accounts in different columns collectively departmental accounts will be prepared. That is column for A department, column for B department, like that. In the same account collectively they will be prepared. Now let us discuss in detail. When individual sets of books is maintained, it is method under which every department of an organization is regarded as separate unit, and therefore individual books of accounts are prepared and maintained for every department. At the end, financial result of every department is calculated and consolidated to find the overall performance and net result of the whole organization. This method of departmental accounting involves huge costs and is preferred only by large scale organizations or where is required by the law. Companies involved in insurance business are the ones which are compulsorily required to implement this system of accounting, because here accounts of each department need to calculate separately. But in general cases, in general departmental accounting, we don't prefer this method. Then second method, where all department accounts are maintained columnar wise collectively. Under this technique of departmental accounting, account of all branches are ascertained collectively in columnar form by central accounts department. In this method, for every department, a departmental trading and profit and loss account is prepared or is opened in columnar way altogether. There is separate column for total, like we will prepare for A department, B department, then total. For finding out the results of different departments, both the individual and collective basis, then balance sheet is however prepared in a combining form. For incorporation of purchase and sale of goods, a subsidiary books of accounts is prepared with different columns for different departments. Various subsidiary books prepared are purchase book, sales day book, purchase return and sales return book. Cash book with separate columns of cash purchase and cash sales is also maintained in case of large volumes of purchase and sales done on cash basis. Now final accounts of, like I say, we prepare trading account, profit and loss account in columnar form for A department, B department and then overall total, but balance sheet will prepare in one only. So final account of departmental organizations are prepared keeping in mind the following principles. That is, number 1, determination of gross profit or loss and net profit or loss of every unit of business should be done separately before taking total amount to balance sheet or appropriate account of organization. Clear? Gross profit, net profit will calculate separately before we will go to balance sheet in total. Then basis of appropriating gains and losses to each and every unit should be given fairly. That is basis of allocation of expenses, basis of distribution of expenses, it has to be fair. We should not try to increase profit of some department or to decrease profit of other department. It has to be on suitable basis. Okay? Now we will discuss about advantages. So most significant advantages of departmental accountings are, number 1, it facilitates. So my dear students, first you do one thing, first you note down these points. Number 1, facilitates interdepartmental comparison. Facilitates interdepartmental comparison. Number 2, formulation of policies. Number 2, formulation of policies. Number 3, assist in expansion and shutdown decisions. Assist in expansion and shutdown decisions. Number 4, reveal the success or failures of units. Reveal the success or failure of units. Number 5, benefits to auditors and investors. Benefits to auditors and investors. Number 6, determine manager's commission. Determine manager's commission. Then number 7, promote competitive spirit. Promote competitive spirit. And number 8, enhance profitability. Number 8, enhance profitability. So these are the advantages of departmental accounting. Let us discuss these advantages in detail. So number 1, it facilitates interdepartmental comparisons. So if departmental accounting will prepare, we will know expenses and results. We will know expenses and results of each departments separately, so we can compare income and expenses of department A with department B. So that comparison will be possible only if departmental accounting is prepared. Then number 2, formulation of policies. So when you are going to make any policies, then you must know informations of each and every department individually. You must analyze their sets of books for determining their results of each and every departments. Proper knowledge of each department is must. So formulation of policies can be done if there is proper departmental accounting. Then number 3, assist in expansion and shutdown decision. Like as we discussed earlier also, management or owner will be glad to know the results of each and every department separately. He will be eager to know which department is doing the best, which department is doing moderate, which department is doing very poor performance. That is, which department is running in profit, which department we can improve, and which department is there which is, in spite of our best efforts, still it is running in losses. So management can take decision that the departments which is giving more and more return, more profit, we can expand that department by shutting down the department which is running in loss. Because it's of no use to run the department which is running in loss. So why not that departmental area, that departmental resources we can use for the department which is giving us profit. Then number 4, reveal the success or failure of units. By preparing individual departmental accounting, even will be in position to know, or will be in position to get the information about the success or failure of each department, what are the reasons, what are the causes of failure and success of each department. And once departmental accounting is prepared, if results of each and every department is prepared separately, if stock is maintained separately, if everything is maintained separately, then it will be easy for auditors, easy for investors also. So benefits for auditors and investors if there is proper departmental accounting, because investor also will be able to know that which department is better to invest. Then number 6, determine manager's commission. Each department handled by managers, each department handled by the supervisors of that department. So their efficiency, their profitability of the department, on that basis only commission, remuneration of the managers is also based. So if the department is doing well, if the department is running in profit, then we can measure efficiency of the manager or supervisor, and on the basis of their efficiency even we can determine manager's commission and remuneration. But if the department is not doing well, then it is also one question marks on the efficiency of the manager. Then number 7, promote competitive spirit. Now suppose one department is running in profit, one department is also doing well but not as much. So one department can look at other department, that why that department, how the department is running in profit, how to cut down the cost, how to attract the customers, how to increase our sales. The positive competition spirit should be there. So one department can compete with other departments if they know results of each department individually, separately. So there is a spirit, or we can say departmental accounting, it promotes competitive spirit, healthy spirit amongst the departments, which in final which gives overall profit to the departments, improvement of the overall departmental organization. Then another advantage is, like we have discussed, enhanced profitability. So departmental accounting has an efficient role in increasing the profitability of the business organization. This system of accounting closely monitor every aspect of cost and revenues of organization related to various units for avoiding any errors and frauds. It ensures that all resources are efficiently utilized with minimum wastage. These separate accounts or books assist managers in determining performance level from time to time and taking corrective actions which leads to raising the profit level, that is enhancement of profitability. So my dear students, these are the advantages of departmental accounting. So now we have discussed about 2 methods of departmental accounting, that is separate sets of book, a separate unit, or all the department accounts are prepared in column wise with one total column, and then how final account is prepared, and then what are the advantages of departmental accounting. So from this session you can prepare your question, what are the methods of departmental accounting and what are the advantages of departmental accounting. Thank you.